Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Holy cow. It's Thursday, Heidi.
It is Thursday.
It's time for a Dear John letter.
It is.
Well, not
you
yet.
got a good one?
I think so. It's
Okay.
coming up later in the program. Here's the thing. I always like the Dear John letters. But you're not always a fan.
Some days.
Yeah, she wants them to be like things that are
Kind of edgy, kind of fun.
Well, the one today is a little edgy. I
Okay,
think
good.
you're gonna like it today.
All right.
And it's I have to tell you ahead of time to not get political. So it's somewhat political. So we're gonna make sure that we stay on the neutral position and not make it a political thing. But that's coming your way here.
We'll see.
You can also chime in with your advice on our Facebook page. I've already got that Dear John letter posted, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Here's our quote for today. Your present circumstances don't determine where you can go. They merely determine where you start. I love that. Nito Quibin said that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. If you have a dog, listen to this. FreshPatch.com is a subscription service that will send you a box with a fresh patch of grass for your dog to use for a few weeks. Then they send you a new fresh patch and you discard the old one. You can throw it in the trash, use it for compost, or even put it in your yard and it'll grow into the ground. FreshPatch.com has thousands of happy dog families who love this concept, especially in the colder months. Try it now for a little less. Use promo code RADIO to save 10%. That's FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO. Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, October the 25th. Today is National Greasy Food Day. Yeah. It's, as much as I like that, I'm not going to participate. I'm trying to lose some weight, so I don't want to do greasy food today. It's also Sourest Day today.
So you say you're trying to lose weight, but what about the thing that you sent me the other day? And you said, Heidi, let's make this.
I wasn't serious. I was being silly.
Were you?
It's a cube of cheese stuffed with meat and potatoes, deep fat fried. Probably not healthy. Sourest Day today, and it's also Chucky the Notorious Killer Doll Day today.
I love Chucky.
Not so much. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Thursday. Radio. It's a pretty amazing marketing tool. But like many tools, it works best when used properly. Like, let's take this weed whacker. I could use this to trim my hair. Yikes. Hope that grows back. But that's not what weed whackers are for. Tools work much better when you use them for their proper use, just like radio. If you want help making radio work better for your business, that's our business. RadioReallyWorks.com. Get better results with the money you're already spending. RadioReallyWorks.com. Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. All right, here's the question, Heidi. Tell me, is this a golf course or a rehab center? Reflection Bay, Henderson, Nevada. Reflection Bay. What do you think?
I'm going to say rehab center.
Well, you're going to be wrong. It's a golf course.
It should be a rehab center. That is a great name.
That is.
Because you should be reflecting when you go into rehab.
I'm going to reflect for a while I play golf.
That would be an awesome one.
That is a good name. I agree. Anyway, but it's not what it... this is why we play. Is it a golf course? Or is it a rehab center? We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. TimeForRehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com. And this is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Every day at this time, we talk about people who do silly things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or somebody you know needs some help, you can learn more at TimeForRehab.com. Central Illinois physician who pled guilty last year to charges of illegally dispensing opioids and other prescription medications in exchange for money or sexual favors has been sentenced to 12 years in federal prison.
Oh, my.
How sad is that somebody would be doing that? Dr. Constantino Perales of LaSalle County Community of Peru was sentenced Tuesday by U.S. District Judge Amy St. Eve. According to the release, the 67-year-old man admitted to illegally prescribing oxycodone and Xanax to patients who he knew would sell the pills on the black market and then shared the profits with him.
Oh, boy.
He also admitted he illegally dispensed opioids and other controlled substances to 3 patients who he knew were addicted to the drug, but they, did sexual favors for him. So you do me,
Well,
you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So anyway, he gets to go to jail for a while. That's a bad idea. And that is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Guess what was number 1 at the box office last weekend, Heidi?
What was that?
I was going to do the theme song, but it's for the wrong one. I was going to go ch-ch-ch. That's Friday the 13th. It's Halloween. I don't know the theme song. I know they have one. How does the theme song go for that?
It's a
Is it the
musical
piano thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not like that, but it's really cool.
It is kind of chilling, isn't it?
I am not going to see that one.
You're not going to go? I've heard good things from a few people, and I've heard not so good things from other people. Hey, I don't know if this is good news or bad news, but it's news. Amy Schumer says that she will not participate in any Super Bowl commercials because of the way the NFL, they're not supporting Colin Kaepernick's protest. So she's not going to... Well, I wonder if anyone's asking her to be in the Super Bowl commercials.
I think they've done nothing but support his protests, haven't they?
She's not happy with the way that's going down. So she's refusing to be in the
won't get
commercials.
to see her in any commercials.
So that would be like me saying,
whatever will we do?
I refuse to be in the commercials for something that nobody would want me in commercials for. I don't know. Just a silly thing.
Skinny jeans.
I'm refusing to do any commercials for skinny jeans. Me personally. Not going to do any. So don't even ask. No one's going to ask.
The John and Heidi Show will not be appearing in any
Super
skinny
Bowl
jean
ads.
commercials.
All right. Thanks for listening to Big Screen, Little Screen. Radio. It's a pretty amazing marketing tool. But like many tools, it works best when used properly. Like, let's take this weed whacker. I could use this to trim my hair. Yikes. Hope that grows back. But that's not what weed whackers are for. Tools work much better when you use them for their proper use, just like radio. If you want help making radio work better for your business, that's our business. RadioReallyWorks.com. Get better results with the money you're already spending. RadioReallyWorks.com. Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by FreshPatch.com, promo code radio. A new survey found that 7 in 10 millennials. How old are millennials? What would the age group be for millennials? Do we know?
According to our son, late 30s.
Really?
That's what he says.
Can you Google that while we're talking? Seriously. Because I want to just say, I think that sounds old.
All right. I'll let you talk.
This is the way we usually do the show, by the way. I'm usually the one talking while you're on your phone doing something completely different. So today, it just happens to be something about the show. A new survey found that 7 in 10 millennials would take a pay cut if they could bring their pet to work. 7 in 10 millennials would take a pay cut if they could bring their pet to work. Do we have an age group officially?
Yes, it says 84% of millennials born since 1980.
1980, really?
Yep. So between the ages of 18 and 32.
Wow. So that is a lot older than I was thinking.
Yeah.
So 18 to 32 would make you a millennial. Would you? I know we're not millennials. We're way too old to be. We're too old to be cool. Would you take a pay cut if you could bring your pet to work?
No.
Me neither. I kind of want to get away from my pets once in a while. I love our dogs dearly. But you know
when
what?
we do bring our pets to work, you can hear them running around and
making noise and causing
with
problems.
what we do.
Yeah,
you can't be bringing the pets to work.
Not a good plan for us. Another study says GoToMeeting found that 1 in 5 employees now work from home. So that's, if my math is correct, 20%.
That's really cool, though. I like that.
It is. I love that. And then it's a lot less commuting. I loved back when there were times when we've had the chance to work from home and my commute was literally like walking down the steps. I kind of like that. That's nice. So GoToMeeting found 1 in 5 employees now works from home.
That's really nice when the weather is yucky.
Yeah, it is. Another story here. This, I'm going to just warn you, this is kind of a gross story. I've got a link to it if you want to read all about it. I almost didn't read it because it's kind of just leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
I'm interested.
All right. And that line that I just said that leaves a bad taste in your mouth will make a lot more sense after the story.
Uh-oh.
A Japanese man has become a cult hero for living exclusively as a cannibal since the 1980s.
Oh.
So that means he's a person who eats people.
Okay, only only people that are already
Exclusively.
dead?
I don't know.
Like, I mean, if this guy's out wandering around killing
Apparently,
people.
I don't know what it just says. I've got a link to the story. I don't know that I really want to click that link. I don't think
Roadkill?
I need to know anymore.
I mean, what's he-
I hope not.
What's he eating?
I
Where's
don't
he
know
getting
where
his people.
I don't know where he's getting it, and I don't think I want to know. If there's a service for that, I don't want to know about that. I'm disturbed to know that there's somebody that's been eating exclusively a cannibal lifestyle since the 1980s in Japan. I didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently that's a thing now. That's not good.
I'm very, very curious as to where
Well,
he gets his meat.
in the show notes, you can find all the details. For those of you who want to go shopping with Heidi, please don't make any for me. Thanks.
I'm not going to
I hope not.
cook with it. I just wonder.
Please don't. That is just, like I said, disturbing to even know that exists. Now, this was in the news last week, and we've got another thing that's coming up when we get to our Dear John letter that is going to be somewhat political. So I figure if we're going to upset people, we're going to just talk about this right now. Please don't get political on this. I just want to read the story, okay?
Okay.
Elizabeth Warren says the reason she took a DNA test was to rebuild people's trust in government. Would you stop? That is the end of the story right there.
Good job,
period.
Elizabeth.
So, that did not go well. I just want to make sure. Again, I'm not taking a side on this at all, and I'm not trying to make this political. I literally read that tiny little blurb. That's it. I've got a link in the show notes if you want to read it.
That's a beautiful thing.
And I absolutely positively don't want to get political with our Dear John letter, but we have a Dear John letter coming up. You can chime in. Please don't get political. I just wanted, we would love to have your advice if you have some advice for the person. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. TimeForRehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com. Time now for Dear John Letters.
Dear John, Dear John.
We're going to tell you how to submit your own Dear John letter here at the end, but first let's dive right into this one. And I want to remind people that you can also chime in with your advice for this person, but I'm going to ask today, please try not to make it political. If we could try to not make it political, that would be great, because I understand this is a somewhat political topic, and again, I'm just really concerned that it's going to get off the rails.
All right, let's
Maybe
go.
even right here in the studio. I try not to, but here we go. Dear John, my wife and I like to go to costume contests, and she's pretty creative. We've won several times. This year, I think her idea is in bad taste, and I don't want to play along. She's getting mad at me for not wanting to play the part. Not sure if you want to read this part on the radio, but I will. There's nothing in here naughty, but I think he understands that, we try not to get political, so... it says, I don't know if you want to read this part on the radio. She wants to dress as Christine Blasey Ford and have me dress as Judge Brett Kavanaugh. My, in parentheses, has costume. My costume consists of a judge's robe, a gavel, and one of those helmets with beer cans in it. Her costume is not even really a costume. She doesn't even look like Christine Blasey Ford. So I think in addition to it being in poor taste, I don't think people even know who she's supposed to be. And half of the people will hate my outfit. Says, do you have better ideas while I still have time to maybe talk her out of this? Signed, embarrassed to dress up. So, first of all, do you think that's in poor taste? I don't even know if it's
I think that is a phenomenal
I
costume.
figured. See, you got to understand something. Before we go much further in this conversation, my wife over here is also very creative and always comes up with costume contests for us.
And we have done controversial costumes almost every time. And we always win.
We've won many. But I don't think anything that we've ever done was something that would offend. I don't know. Maybe some have. But I don't think so. I don't think it would have been offensive. So do you have some ideas that this person could do?
So she could look more like Christine. She could get some of those big glasses and a blonde messy wig.
I don't think that's what he's asking.
Honestly, she could just dress up like Garth from Wayne's World, and she'd look just like her.
I don't even know. I have not followed this at all, so I don't know what. If you came to me, I wouldn't know who either of these people are.
Oh, I would totally know. And
I just
most
don't.
people who have
Do you
a
think they would?
computer or a television would know.
You trying to say I'm
who
out of
these
touch?
people are.
You trying to say that I'm out of touch, Heidi? Is that what you're?
Little bit, maybe.
I
think it's hilarious. I think that is a hilarious costume.
Not helping, Heidi. Not helping. What he's asking for, are better ideas.
Oh, I can give him ideas.
Okay, if you want to give better ideas, that the kind of stuff that I think that you're working on, because I see the smile over there, you can do that on the Facebook page, but not here. Okay? So one of the things that I would do is this. First thing I would do is talk to your wife and just say exactly what you're telling us here.
And he'll have his hands free. What's he complaining about? He'll have his hands free all night. The beers will be right in his hat. He's not going to have to do anything. It's a perfect costume.
But if he's going...
Doesn't have to lose weight. He's in a giant robe. That's
but
a perfect costume.
If he's going places where he could upset people, I could understand that, where you don't want to upset people.
Well, why doesn't he dress as Christine and she dresses as Kavanaugh?
Well, do you think that's going to make it a whole lot better?
Why not?
I don't think that's going to make it a whole lot better. This is really kind of falling on deaf ears right here.
It kind of sounds like he's not willing to compromise.
Well, it sounds to me like this is a guy who maybe just doesn't want to have a bunch of people mad at him. And he's going, I'm really the one dressing up as something offensive. Because it's going to offend people.
Really, it's hilarious. I mean, you're kind of making fun of Kavanaugh at the same time because he's got the beer hat on. And...
But that's not even really who the guy is. This is a caricature of who that is. So
it's funny. It's poking fun at both sides. I think it's fantastic.
I don't think we've helped here at all. If you would like to chime in,
the Christine shirt should say something like,
"Let's just stop right now before you." I know when you're gonna go too far, and I see the look on your face. Folks, it is hard for me to steer her back on track, isn't it?
I colluded with the Democrats, and all I got is this lousy T-shirt.
Would you stop it? If you would like to chime in with much better advice, please do. Please, this guy needs some help, and I guarantee you this was no help. If you'd like to chime in with much better advice...
And $600,000 in GoFundMe money.
Would you stop it? Oh, boy.
John, guess what we're going to be for Halloween?
We're not. I know we're not going to be. If you would like to chime in with much better advice, you can do that at johnandheidishow.com. You can do that at facebook.com/JohnandHeidiShow. And you can also submit your letter for next week, and we'll do a bang-up job answering that, too, I'm sure. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. This has been Dear John Letters. Wonder why they don't call them Dear Heidi Letters.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales, and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The Hermitage Museum of St. Petersburg, Russia, has so many cats on the grounds there, they employ a press secretary to the cats. Yeah, there's a person who their job is to,
handle the press that's coming
to the press on behalf of the cats.
Okay.
Like, I have a question for the tabby cat, and I'm like, sorry, Tabby's not taking questions today.
Wow, I want that job.
I would like to ask a question. What do you think this cat over here is thinking? That cat is thinking, prrrr. That's what they're thinking. Any other questions?
Wow.
I don't really know what a press secretary to the
I don't know either.
Do, somebody's making dough doing that, so I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong line of work. I kind of like what I'm doing. I don't want to be the press secretary to the cats. We do have more fun stuff to get to. Thank you for listening to this fun fact on the John and Heidi Show. If you have a dog, listen to this. FreshPatch.com is a subscription service that will send you a box with a fresh patch of grass for your dog to use for a few weeks. Then they send you a new fresh patch and you discard the old one. You can throw it in the trash, use it for compost, or even put it in your yard and it'll grow into the ground. FreshPatch.com has thousands of happy dog families who love this concept, especially in the colder months. Try it now for a little less. Use promo code RADIO to save 10%. That's FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO. Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day, and it's And no,
I don't know what that means.
A swing and a miss. Here we go. Atanatophobia.
You're afraid of body parts.
Atanatophobia. It is, what did you think that's what it was?
Anatomically correct.
Atanatophobia. I'll spell it for you. I'm sure I'm not saying it right. I'm looking at the phonetic spelling down here, and it's not good. AUTO, so automatonophobia. Automatonophobia.
So you're afraid of vehicles?
That's not how they're saying it down here, though. AUTOMATONOPHOBIA. Nophobia. You can look at it online if
What
you
is
want.
it?
It's our grandiloquent word. It's the fear of artificial representations of people. So, like, to be afraid of a ventriloquist dummy, a mannequin, a doll, a wax museum figure. So if you're afraid of, like, a people-like thing that's made out of something else that looks like a person, that's what it is. Automatic.
You kind of have that.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I'm not afraid of anything. Heidi.
Yes, you do.
What am I afraid of?
Big tough man. Remember when Taylor made that thing?
I wasn't afraid of
That
it.
person?
I walked
my
up
God,
the steps and there was something at the top of the
every
steps.
time it was you were like, get that thing out of my house. You've got to get it out of my house.
In my way.
You said it like every day.
Get it out of
It's
here.
creepy. Get that out of
Stupid.
here.
It's dumb. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi
I'm not
Show.
afraid of anything.
I'm not afraid of nothing. This has been today's grandiloquent word. We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. Timeforrehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com. Now some weird news for you. On a Thursday, a Wyoming woman who's running for city council is defending her panty-selling alter ego. Okay.
She has an alter ego.
Deborah Reno of Evanston, Wyoming, called the news channel 2 News, explaining her decision to run and why she has another identity known as Misty Crockett. She says, my alter ego is hot and sexy in a way that I never get to be in real life. My husband loves my alter ego, although she only comes out when he and I are out of town. She doesn't break laws, but she is gorgeous. She's never gotten into trouble, but she does get into exciting adventures with my husband. What the what? Says she sold used panties and dirty gym shorts online for the last couple of years.
Ew, gross.
She's seen strip teasing in videos. A handful of community members raised concerns to other elected officials when they discovered that this is what she was doing. The candidate says she no longer sells used underwear, and she has since deleted all of her accounts, and she now says Misty is now dead. So she's running for city council somewhere.
Yeah, don't vote for her.
You know what? You do what you want to do. That's happening in Wyoming, and it's up to you. If you want to do that, you do what you want to do. I just think that's interesting. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now your moment of duh. Dory Madina Stevenson is a Canadian psychic who was arrested for extortion, Heidi. You think she saw that coming?
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that.
She was also charged with fraud because she pretended to practice witchcraft. Here's what happened. Canadian police conducted a 5-month investigation where she swindled a regular customer out of $60,000, threatening to put a spell on her if she doesn't give her money. The customer paid the fee, then contacted police who launched an investigation. She was arrested after she tried a similar tactic on a different client. So, not good. You don't do that. I think that's really, really sad. And I feel bad for the lady, the person. It doesn't say lady. I guess I don't know for sure if it was a lady or a man. So I don't know why I even assumed it was a lady. But, put a spell on her. That's why I assumed that. It was a lady. I feel bad for the person who was swindled out of $60,000. That is a very sad story, and hopefully she'll get some of that back. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales, and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
Time now for fake news or Florida. You ready for this, Heidi?
I am ready.
Okay, you tell me if this is a true story that happened in the great state of Florida or if it's all made up just to trick you. All right, you ready for this one?
I'm ready. Let's go.
How about this one? A Florida man arrested at 2:30 in the morning for touching himself inappropriately in public because it helps him with anxiety. And this was at a 24-hour laundromat. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
No, it's actually a true story. I put as many details in there because that's usually what happens. That's how I usually I get foiled, because I pull out the details thinking that, I'm going to give away too much. So I kind of tricked you there, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
See, I got you, didn't I? Huh? Now who knows what they're doing around here? I'm going to probably not be able to trick her ever again. Thank you for playing Fake News or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news, and it comes your way courtesy of Odiva, the monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All the details in the show notes, or actually all the details also at radiosavings.com. I was going to say in the show notes I have a link to this story. This, I think, is actually kind of a cool story, and I know some people who would absolutely love this. An entire town became autism-friendly. Every business agreed to apply 4 specific measures to make the entire town autism-friendly. It says the members and businesses in this community have all united in order to become Ireland's first ever autism-friendly town. The entire town of Clonakilty, I don't know if I'm saying that right, I hope I am, they achieved the title of the only autism-friendly town in Ireland. Over 212 organizations worked with them and the As I Am charity to be accredited as an autism-friendly town. Businesses were accredited after implementing 4 simple measures. They were, it says here...
What were the 4?
I'm looking to see. It says they erected maps and visual guides of their facilities.
Okay.
They made sure that the buildings were open to service dogs. They set up relaxation zones for visitors or guests who might become overwhelmed by their surroundings. And they established quiet time periods where they adjusted the environment for visitors with sensory issues. So there are certain times where they...
Those are all easy enough to do.
I remember reading a story.
I think everybody could do that.
I remember reading a story where there was a video place. What do you call it? The thing where they play movies. What's that thing called? A theater. That's what it is. Thank you.
A video place.
Video.
It's a movie theater.
You know what I'm talking about. I don't know.
A video
what I'm
place
talking
would be like a video store.
No, this was a movie theater, and this movie theater turned the lights on for one showing of some movies, and they didn't have the sound quite as loud for people with sensory issues, and it was extremely popular. And I thought, why wouldn't they do more of that? You know, figure out what time is not a good time for regular people to go to, you know, regular theater viewers, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to be
careful.
Well, I'm not trying to be incorrect or politically incorrect, but I mean, I'm saying if this is a time when you don't usually have people coming anyway, that's where you should say, hey, let's try this and see what would happen. And if it goes well, then maybe you do that for other showings as well. So, again, if I just upset somebody, I'm really not trying to. I'm trying to be very politically
correct. You can't
correct.
say anything anymore.
Well, as I said it, I was like, I think I said some of that wrong, and I really didn't mean to. I'm not trying to be insensitive. Again, thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. If you'd like to read more about this community that is autism-friendly, I think it's a really cool idea. Absolutely love that idea. I've got a link to it in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.